All right, last matchup of the week. We got It's All About Luck. Wait, who? Versus Got That Murray Up offense. Let me start out by saying, Will, your name should be something about luck because of that points against points for. It's insane. Um, and your schedule for the rest of the year is a great schedule. So as I say, it should come back to haunt you. I generally don't know that it will. I think you end up making the playoffs because of it. So, what we'll see. So, digging into this week, we got 121.4 to 111.2. Let's get into it and see if that's accurate. Will's averaging around that 110 range and winning games. So let's see where Green's players are going to hiccup this week to give Will the win again. So Kirk Cousins at Kansas City, you like that. However, teams have been successful against Kansas City running the ball and owning that time of possession. And so I definitely expect them to go more run heavy to try to hold the ball and don't allow that Kansas City offense on the field. But Patrick Mahomes is going to miss this game, so maybe they don't play into that factor so much. Kirk Cousins could definitely have a big game. Kyler Murray against San Francisco, that's a tough one. That's just a tough matchup for a rookie quarterback. I think he struggles. The San Francisco defense, they throw so many different looks at you. And for a rookie quarterback, I mean, I think he really, really struggles this week. So I expect him to throw maybe one or two picks. Um, you hope he gets some running game going so that he can put up some points. But I think Kyler Murray goes below his projected points of 18. I think Kirk Cousins probably ends up somewhere around his 17 to 19 point range is kind of what I would think for him. So I'm giving the edge there to Kirk Cousins instead of Kyler Murray. Jordan Howard at Chicago, or playing Chicago at home. Sonny Michel at Baltimore. It's interesting. Chicago's defense, they've allowed some touchdowns to running backs lately. Jordan Howard's getting a good bit of volume. They like Miles Sanders, and he's been coming on a little bit more as of lately. Sonny Michel at Baltimore. I'm going to call this one more of a wash. And in fact, I'll say this. Whichever one of these running backs gets into the end zone, one time has the edge because I don't think either of them actually produces big numbers just on the ground themselves. Neither of them are really pass catching backs. And so this is, and I don't think they get a ton of volume in these games. And so whichever one happens to fall in the end zone, I think wins this matchup. Other than that, I'm calling it a wash. LaShawn McCoy against Austin Eckler. This is an interesting one because I think this is setting up for a Melvin Gordon game. But LaShawn McCoy is pretty much a poor man's version of Austin Eckler. In fact, I can't say that. They trust McCoy on the ground more than they Damian Williams. So Damian Williams may be the poor man's version of Austin Eckler, but they just don't run the ball. Kansas City just doesn't run the ball. And so you kind of don't know what you're going to get here. I'm going to go with Eckler still having the edge just because of his involvement in the passing game in that Chargers offense. Tyrell Williams against Odell Beckham. Ugh. It's so frustrating. This is his first round pick, and he just isn't producing. And now he's questionable. I honestly don't even know what that's about, but Tyrell Williams is questionable as well. I think he's more just limited in practice. Odell probably the same. Going up against Detroit, I think Oakland has to pass the ball in this game. Whereas I think Cleveland, I think they are going to pass because they're trying to get Baker Mayfield right. Just don't know if it's going to work. I'm giving the edge to Tyrell Williams. Until OBJ proves that he can be OBJ, I'm not picking him in these matchups. Particularly when Tyrell Williams, as I said, my DFS or in my hindsight video, he scored a touchdown every single game he's played this season Give me Tyler Williams over OBJ. Cannot believe I'm saying that. Would have expected to say that. Adam Thielen, John Brown. I think Thielen just has more opportunity, but you like the matchup for John Brown. I think this one's more of a wash than people would expect. Thielen, though, if he's making his return and still kind of getting healthy, I could see him having a bigger game. So I'll put it this way: I think Thielen has more upside, um, but I think just on an average standard of play, there it's more of a wash than people would expect. Zach Ertz, Jimmy Graham. Zach Ertz has not been the top 3 tight end that he was probably drafted at. Jimmy Graham has been definitely better as of lately. Um, but I think Philly's going to pass in this game. I'm going to Ertz. As much of a wash as I think Ertz actually has a bigger game. I like him to go over his 11.1 projection this week because I think they're just going to forcefully get him involved in this passing game more than they have to this point. And then if Davante Adams makes his return, that could hurt some of Jimmy Graham's passing volume. And so I'm going Ertz in this matchup. Kenny Stills, Mohamed Sanu. Who knows? I'm going to flip a coin on that one. I think Kenny Stills has bigger upside than Sanu, but I think Sanu has probably more volume opportunity as what is probably the number 2 wide receiver in this New England offense. Him, Philip Dorsett, kind of not sure how that's going to land. But so all in all, give me Kenny Stills, I guess. I would give him a slight edge. Derek Carr against Detroit, Jarvis Landry against Denver. Derek Carr, that's a simple pick for me. I think they're going to have to pass in this game. It's a tougher pass defense, but they're going to have to pass, so the volume's going to be there. Derek Carr will score more points than Jarvis Landry. 49ers defense at Arizona, that's a great – I mean, the fact that he has his defense going up against Will's quarterback, that's a really good matchup there. And then Cowboys at Giants. Yeah, I mean that's a good pickup for Will. I think he picked up the Cowboys defense to play against the Giants off the waiver wire. So I like that pickup. Honestly, the smartest choice that you could have made there with the most potential. So in all, as Will's probably going to win, but I got to go with my gut here. And my gut tells me that Green has the better matchups. He has the better players. He has the more talented offense, the more talented team in general. So we're going with it's all about luck. Wait, who?